Hi, nice to meet you today. My name is Jasmine. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. My name is Sang. I'm a cellist. I don't know what more to say other than that. I studied here in the U.S. and I studied briefly in Germany, and I came back, and now I'm happy to be here.
Oh, that's great to hear. What is something that you enjoy doing? What do you like to do most?
I guess play music.
Play music? Anything else?
Well, other than music, anything that's related to art. So possibly like I like cooking.
Oh, okay.
Because there's culinary arts there. I like going to museums. I like reading books. Anything that helps enrich, musical making.
Okay.
So.
Well, just because you mentioned culinary, if we were to come to your house, what would you prepare for us?
Beef bourguignon. That's what I would make.
Okay. Yeah. Is there something you like to do, like the first thing you do, like when you wake up in the morning?
Check my phone.
Check your phone?
Like everybody else.
Like everyone else, okay. And how hard do you like to push yourself?
Quite hard. I still practice 6 hours a day just to make sure I stay in shape. I also teach, but the thing is, as a teacher, my pride comes from my predecessors who taught me, which is instead of just talking and teaching through speech, you have to be able to perform and actually show, so that when the student says, oh no, you're just asking the impossible or it's not possible, then you just show them and you say, there you go, there's your example. So it also makes them much more inspired and want to work harder and follow you. So that's sort of yeah.
Okay. And since you mentioned teaching, when you're teaching your major instrument to young kids as like beginners or intermediate, what kind of things or thinking process do you expect from them?
It's pretty tough to be inspiring, and of course you try to add a little bit of musical inspiration, but I always tell them 3 things at a young age, which is rhythm, intonation, and a good sound, and that'll get you very far. So just getting those 3 things down, just drilling them in. Yeah.
And what about from their parents?
Tell the parents not to force them to practice, because if they do, they're not going to like doing it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of musical work or recording by other musicians?
That's a little bit tough to answer, but I guess it would definitely not be in the cello repertoire. It would all fall under pretty much piano repertoire. I like Christian Zimmerman's piano playing. There's just so much more to learn from those works to know how to play the works in your field. For example, if you listen to late Beethoven sonatas, and if you understand them quite well, then it's easy to approach the late cello sonatas, because they're just little, I guess, less sophisticated versions of that. So.
Okay. Do you have any notable episodes during your learning or performance processes?
To learn one thing from everyone, even if it's hard to respect the person, because everybody has a valid point of view on something, and also to try to go abroad and try to experience different cultures. Because if you're, for example, trying to learn, we're all playing German music here, right? Western classical music, and we're thinking it's like, a pizza, and we're like, oh, I know how Italian food tastes, but I've never been to Italy and experienced it, right? But in my imagination, I make it. It's sort of the same way. It's if you're going to play German music, it's good to actually go over there and take a few lessons there and understand the culture there, and then you'll get a better perspective of how to make the music in a more authentic manner.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your dream concert to participate in?
What do you mean dream concert to participate? It's probably like me, it's soloist with Berlin Phil.
Yeah, anything like that.
Berlin Philharmonic Hall playing Prokofiev Symphony Concertate or something. So
okay.
That's
okay. And lastly, who would you say was your most inspiring music teacher or mentor?
I would say David Geringas, because I first met him when I went to Europe, and I was just like, I found the answer to all my questions that I had, and he approaches everything from like a very musical perspective instead of a technical perspective. But then he does it in a way, in a very basic way, where he says, why aren't you doing this here? And then you go, yeah, I agree. I should be doing that. And then he says, okay, then do it. And then you sound like a baby who has growing pains. And then you realize how hard it is to have all the basic, simple things down in music correctly. So I learned quite a lot from there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and we're excited to hear you perform.
Okay, thank you.